So today I'm going to be showing you how we make these little pumpkins with succulents and stuff on them. We call them pumpulins, like pumpkin with the word, well, it's like the word pumpkin with the word combined with the word succulent. So like pumpculent, I don't know, it's just, we made it up. But anyway, so I'm going to make 12 of these little pumpulins. And then once we make them, what we do with them is on Saturdays we take them to the farmer's market and have them for sale for people for, you know, decorating their table, centerpiece. Some people give them as gifts. So I just wanted to kind of take you through the process of how I make the pumpkins so you can see it if you're interested in how I make them. So I start like at one end of like where our succulents are and just cut on them. These are pretty cool. They're like super tall, so it's kind of nice. So I just come in and go way down, you know, with my scissors like that, and grab it with my other hand and just hack it. Probably looks crazy, but that's what I do. And then I get a handful like that and then throw them in my bowl. So I'm just gonna keep doing that and keep going down through all of these plug trays and get a good assortment of all the different succulents that we have. Then once I get a bowl full, we just got a bowl full, I go and I dump them on my table in this area, kind of like in front of my water bottle area. I just go like this. And then I just go get more. I think I'm gonna get a couple more bucketfuls before we start. These containers, this is like my third year of having these plants. I've been cutting off that mother of million for succulents, but there's a couple, or for pumpkins, but there's a couple I had to show you. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? Look at the, I don't know. Here, let's pull it out. I want to see what it looks like. Wow, that's nice. So I've had this for like 3 years and I just love it. Oh, I need to oh my word, I didn't even know I had. Oh, okay. I get scared. It was nothing. It was just that. Okay. I was, look at this one. I didn't even know I had that one. There's like a good 3 of them in there. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let's see what the root looks like. Ooh. Could split that into 3. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm getting off track here. One more thing I have to show you in these trays because they're so old. So they're kind of cool looking. Look at this succulent. Isn't that beautiful? I wonder, should we cut the head off and use it on our pumpkins? Let's do it. Look at that thing. Wow, that's going to be so pretty on a pumpkin. It's huge. Okay, and then these mother of millions, I've been cutting on these for pumpkins too. You can tell where the tops are, but these are really nice too, so I'm going to grab some of those. For our pumpkins. These ones are pretty cool. I'm going to grab these big heads right here. And this jade, I'm going to grab all this stuff. I'm going to cut the heads off of all that. And those blue ones too. And maybe those too. All of it. The whole tray is coming with us. I love these blue ones. Blue ones are cool. Look at all those. Let's get all those too. Those are fun to put on pumpkins. They're like a neon kind of color. Oh, this is gonna remind me, we gotta get some of this too. I got a couple different colors of the inch plant. It's like a purple one, more purple, and then more of like a variegated. So they're kind of fun to put on pumpkins too. I'll kind of do an overall close-up so you can see like where I'm working or what, you know, like my area. So here's the moss, my glue sticks, my glue gun, my pins, and then here's where we dumped all of the plants, or the, you know, the succulents that we just cut. It's just a big pile of them. And there is, what are those things called? Oh, pine cones, sorry. Pine cones I got from my driveway. Pumpkin on a stick we got from the garden. And then back there are the pumpkins that we're gonna make in that crate. So I just grab a pumpkin and set it on the table and we'll get started. I'm going to kind of do one pumpkin, I was thinking, and kind of show you a step-by-step, like just share my thoughts of what I'm thinking in the moment making this. And then I'll just make like one, and then I'll just show you maybe, you know, of me making it in other ones in fast motion, and then maybe overall at the end, so you don't have to watch me like literally making 12 pumpkins, because they take a while. It takes me like 3 or 4 hours. So anyway, so I got some moss from my yard. That's what the bottom looks like. That's what the top looks like. I kind of go through and pick out any little grass that is in there. That's a brown grass. So just kind of like, you know, clean up the moss so it looks presentable, so it looks fine. So if it's like that, I don't really worry too much because we're gonna cover it all with succulents anyway. So step one, pick out my moss. I usually get enough to fit on the top of the pumpkin. Another thing I should mention is when we're choosing pumpkins, we try to make sure we get one with a really sturdy stem. And I'll show you why when we start doing it, but that is another crucial step in how we make pumpkins, is we need one that has like a really good stem. So then what I'm doing right now is I just take my glue gun, and I had it, you know, heating up while we were gathering succulents, and I just keep going boom, 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 like as much as I can all the way around. So I lift it up, and I just go like this with my, oh, I'm out of glue. Sorry. I go through a lot of glue. So let me show you, let me see if I can do this with one hand in the air. So you can kind of see it, and then I just go boop, 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 like tons and tons and tons. You can see my hand. I just squirt, 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 all the way around, tons and tons and tons. And then I push it down like that. So all of our moss is glued on super, super good. And now what I do is I usually am pretty consistent on what I pick first, and so on, just because it gets super time consuming if you try to do it all individually. I used to do it all, try to make them all unique and different, and it just took too long and I couldn't do it. It already takes me long enough. So I have in my head like a recipe, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but so I kind of do it all the same just for time's sake. So little pumpkin, I use a little pine cone that we got from the yard. So I just take my glue stick or my glue gun, and I put a whole bunch on it like that, tons. And then quickly just put it on the pumpkin wherever we want. Then, so we all get, first step is I always put a pine cone on there for some texture and something different. So they all get a pine cone. Then they all get a pumpkin on a stick. So remember our pumpkin on our sticks that we got from the garden a couple days ago? So I just grab one, make sure that it's looking good, no spots on it. Yep, looking good. And then I kind of measure. So I'll, that one has a little brown, I want to get on. So then I'll measure it, and I'll be like, okay, that's pretty tall for this size pumpkin. I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm going to cut this top one off because I want I want more pumpkins in the clump than just one. So I can use this in a different way though. It's not a waste. So what I do is I measure. So I'll go like this and I'd be like, yeah, I think that's a good, you know, height for this size pumpkin. Sure, that'll work. And then I cut like here. And then this is where it comes in that you want to have a good stem, sturdy stem, because I take a pin that looks like this. It's called a floral pin, I think. And I stick it over, you know, the thing down into the moss, which I don't think I can do it standing up. Hold on. Okay, I got it in. I'll show you what it looks like so far. So I do that, you know, just put a pin in there, and then I put this through it, balance it on the stem, and I'm gonna push that down. It hurts my hands when I'm doing it all the time. My hands just kill me. So I get a stick like that, and I use a stick and I shove it down like this, like that. There, now it's stable on there. Just for some extra support, I take my glue gun and go like that and glue down that what's it called? Metal thingy, metal clip. I thought this angle might be a little bit better. Then I don't have to like stand up all the time. So here's our pumpkin. We just glued that, you know, pin down. Got our little pine cone. And then what I do, I need more glue in my glue stick. I go and try to find like tall stuff. So I know that our Mother of Millions is tall. I know that this white one is tall. And this cool variegated one is tall. So I'm trying to find like tall stuff. Here's one that's tall. So that's good. I think that's a pretty good clump right there. So I grab another pin from our, you know, box, and I'm gonna lay it on here like this, like that. Gather them all up, take my pin, and go all around them. And then I'm gonna push down to go into the pumpkin, but I'm not strong enough and it hurts my thumb really bad. So I use a stick. Oops. It's quite the process, let me tell you. Okay, so that didn't work. So sometimes if that doesn't work, because I'm not very strong, then what I'll do is I'll put the pin in first, like that. So I got the pin in. Then I'll take my, you know, my tall stuff. Our 4. And then I'm gonna kind of clear off the bottom. So there's, you know, kind of like you would strip a bouquet, you clear off the bottom. So you clear off the bottom so they all go in underneath this pin better. So then I take them and I scooch them all kind of under the pin like that. And now my pin's already in the pumpkin. So I then take my stick and push down. You can't push too much or they all snap. It's a feeling. After you do it a lot of times, you know when to stop, you know. And you get a feel for what succulents can handle what. And then we go back and glue all that down, what we just did, okay? So once I got some tall stuff in, I'm feeling like, okay, cool, I got my tall stuff all in. Then I kind of work my way around the pumpkin. So at this point, I just start grabbing succulents from that pile that we cut. Or yeah. So like this, see how this is like super long? I don't want all this extra like that. I want just the head, like just the top, just the little top. So I cut all the, you know, that stuff off. And then what I do is I take my glue gun and I put a whole bunch on there like that. And then I just push it down on there. And while I'm pushing this down, holding it on, I'm searching for my next one. So then I'm like, okay, and I try to pick all different ones. So we haven't done this one yet. So same thing. We're gonna just put a whole bunch of glue around it and figure out where it could go. That might be good on the other side. Here, we didn't do this blue one. We don't have blue on there yet. Stick it, I don't know, in there. It's not really like right or wrong. It's just, you know, you're just putting a whole bunch on there, just different ones. Here's one, again, kind of like with that Echeveria type. I only use the way top and then put some glue on it and stick it wherever we want. We didn't use that one. I think I'm gonna cut more off of it. This can go up or down. It's, you know, it you can do kind of whatever you want with them. Oh, we didn't do an orange one. Here's an orange one. That's pretty. I'm gonna cut the way up there. All my scraps I just throw on the floor and then sweep them up later. And I feel like I need more glue under here. Sometimes you need more glue, so I'll just go like that in there, press down on the moss. More glue stick. Sorry if this is like a really long process. I hope it's not boring, but it is. It's a pretty long process. It is what it is, I guess. I kind of feel like we need some little Echeveria heads right here to cover this, to cover that, you know. So let's see. Oh, these are kind of cool. Let's use these. So there's these. There's 3 on that one. So I'm just gonna go in and cut the heads off. And then glue, you know, maybe glue them all in that little area. And you get burnt a lot too. I just got burnt. So you got to be really careful with your glue stick because, oh my gosh, last year I got burnt so bad I had to get up in the middle of the night and take Tylenol because it was so painful. I had like, I don't know what degree burns, but it was bad. So I try not to burn myself, but I just did it again. All right, that's kind of cute on that side. So here's an area we need to cover. See that stem? We got to cover all that. Maybe something bigger, I think. I don't know, that's too big. Maybe not bigger, let's see. Oh yeah, this one. Let's try that one. We don't have that one on there yet. Again, I just kind of go up and just use the top of the head and cover it like that. Okay, maybe a couple down in here on this moss area. What didn't we do yet? Oh, you know what I do sometimes? So remember that pumpkin that was on the top? Sometimes I'll glue a pumpkin on the side just for fun. Let's do that. There. So we need to put some of those plant in. These purple ones I didn't put in. So again, I just take it like you would be doing a cutting, you know, and glue it. And then I kind of just look for areas that need a little bit of extra, like a little full. Need a little filler. Maybe down in here. Maybe right there, I'm feeling like. Where did I say? Here? Okay, I feel like that's good. It's full. I don't see any glue. I don't see any missing spots. So I'm happy with that one. All right, on to the next. cut a whole bunch of this stuff too because it's really cool on a pumpkin. I put them on the ones last week and they do great. So I grabbed some of this too just in case we want to put that on. Everything on the pumpkin that we put on there except for the pine cone and the pumpkin on a stick, you know, like the little pumpkins, you can propagate. So it's kind of cool because it's like a propagating pumpkin. When I explain to the customers at the market, when they're kind of like looking at this thing like, what is that? You know, and they've never seen one before. So usually what I say is, it's called like a puncculent with succulents on the top and other things too. But so it's just kind of, you know, a fun fall centerpiece for decoration. And it's not carved into. Most of the people at the market, they think it's carved, like I carved the whole pumpkin out and then put dirt in the pumpkin and then planted the succulents inside the pumpkin. So it actually lasts a lot longer because you're not, it's not carved into, you know, it's not like been cut into, so it lasts a lot longer. It's just however long a pumpkin lasts, that's basically how long it lasts, which most pumpkins last a good amount of time. It really depends on how warm you have it in your house, you know, things like that. So if you had it probably cooler in your house, I'm assuming that it would last longer. Once the pumpkin starts rotting, and we only use the good kind of pumpkins. We don't use like pie pumpkins that are softer and don't last as long. We don't use pie pumpkins. But once they start rotting, whenever that is, depending on the pumpkin and the, you know, your environment, their environment, then what you can do is you can like cut the whole top off like this, cut the whole top off with a knife and take the whole thing and plant it in like dirt, like in a planter, and it will grow again. Or you can individually take off the succulents and the, you know, purple ones, this stuff, if we put it on there, and stick it in dirt and, you know, propagate it and make more. So even after the pumpkin starts rotting, you still, you know, it's still a value. You still can use it. You can still keep the plants and use the plants. So it's kind of fun. Like I just say it's like a puck. It's like a I just say it's a what's it called? A propagating pumpkin. You know, you can propagate it after it's done. And then that's kind of fun, like people like to have like a fun project, you know. They're very hardy, I guess, when it comes to the glue gun. They don't really seem to bother them at all. And they just keep rooting onto the, so, you know, they root onto the moss and will root into there. And then you don't really even have to really water them very much. Like you can spritz it, maybe if it looks like extremely dry, spritz it with a little water bottle on the top. I would probably do it more towards like where the moss is on the bottom, but they don't really even need to be watered very much. I had one last year in my house and we never watered it once, and it lasted for like, oh my gosh, probably like over 2 months. So, and we never watered it once. And it looked great. So anyway, I just thought I would share a little bit of information on them, just in case you're wondering a little bit about care and everything. I want to show you how I use this stuff. So this propagates so fast and so good, so I like I like putting it on here because it's a great one to propagate. So I just put a whole bunch of glue on it, just like random. I just pick a spot up where I cut it, you know, and just like put a whole bunch of glue on it. And then I just stick it down like in there, kind of, oh shoot, I hurt myself, dang it. Dang it. I shouldn't have used my finger. And then I just kind of push it down like that. So it's kind of like a base, you know, and it just hangs off. It's really pretty. It just hangs off. And then on the top where I glued it, I put succulents all over it, you know, on top of it, so you don't like see that. You just see this hanging off of it at the end, and it's really cool looking. It is the next morning and I just got set up at the farmer's market, so I wanted to show you what the pumpkins look like that we did. So I'll turn the camera around so you can see them. So I ended up not making as many as I thought I was gonna make because I had to go do a couple other things I had to get done. So I only made like, well, I sold one big one already this morning. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total. So I mean, not bad, but so that's what they kind of look like on my display at the market. I'll kind of back up so you can see it. That's my table. And then I kind of incorporated them in with like the resin stuff. I thought that was maybe okay to do since there wasn't very many of them. And then we hang our macrames in the back, and then jewelry stuff. Oh, I got new, what's it called? Refill bottles. They fill them up 5 times. I tested it, so it's kind of cool. But anyway. And then, oh, I have some plants down on the floor, just a few. It's later in the season, so it's not as busy. So, and then just like cute little succulent planters and house plants. So. And then here's the market, like other vendors. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching me make some pumpkins for the farmer's market. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.